Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I have done many videos on how awful our police force is, and I'm afraid I have another one. This time it is a community support officer who has a penchant for very young people. Images he kept on his phone, inappropriate relationships, that kind of thing. Well, he's just been convicted. He's going to be thrown off the force. And it's about time we actually launched a full investigation into every single serving and previously serving officer. They can all rest easy if they're clear, and they can all sweat it if they're not. We'll have a look at this article and see who the latest one on the list is. So, ex-Surrey police officer jailed after pleading guilty to these offences. A former Surrey Police community support officer has been sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to a string of indecent images offences involving very young people. William Redwood, 24, pleaded guilty to 33 offences of making, taking and distribution of these images of young people, and to inciting a child to engage in this kind of activity at an earlier hearing in July 2022. He was sentenced on Friday. The victims, who are both male and female, were aged between 12 and 17 years old at the time the offences were committed. So he's talking children. He is a police officer, and he's dealing with things like this. And we come across this time and again. I have done way too many videos on how awful the police are. I cease to be astounded anymore. I've just come to naturally expect policemen to be like this now. Well, I've done so much about these type of people that you don't get shocked. You know, you're not shocked anymore. It seems to be the norm. Redwood was aged between 17 and 22 years of age during the span of these offences being committed. He joined Surrey Police as a PCSO based in Runnymede in October 2019. In August 2020, Redwood's supervisor raised concerns to the force's anti-corruption unit that he had formed an inappropriate and undisclosed association, that's with the child, and had accessed confidential police information without a legitimate policing purpose. In other words, he'd found all the juicy pictures, all the sort of pictures that he likes, and he said, yes, I'm having them, accessed them, downloaded them, and put them on his phone, presumably so he could sit later at night and entertain himself. Following concerns raised during the investigation, his mobile phone was seized and it was found to contain indecent images. The investigation was then passed to Surrey Police's P Online investigation team. Redwood resigned from Surrey Police prior to an internal misconduct hearing taking place in December 2020, where it was found that he would have been dismissed from the force had he not resigned. They should not allow these people to resign. They must fire them. He must be fired and then prosecuted. He was placed on the barred list. Now, the thing about this barred list, and I think this is important, we need to sort of just expand on this for a moment, is that they have this list called the barred list. It means if your name is on that barred list, you can never ever be a policeman. However, you can be convicted of crimes and that doesn't put you on the barred list. I think immediately any policeman or citizen, even if they're not a policeman, who commits a crime should be on the barred list. Certainly any cop who commits a crime should immediately be fired and his name put on that barred list. Because what can happen is you can have a policeman in, say, the Metropolitan Police in London. He could do something. He could lose his job as a cop in London and be fired, but he hasn't gone on the barred list. He could then travel up to, Derbyshire, say, and join a police force in Derbyshire or Cornwall or anywhere. It doesn't matter. He's not on the barred list. He's eligible. He just can't work for the Met anymore. That's crazy. Once you are convicted of a crime, you must be ineligible to ever be a policeman. It's as simple as that. How can that not be a thing? And yet that's a thing. It is very weird. Anyway, Deputy Chief Constable Neville Kemp said, "This case has had a devastating impact on the victims involved and I commend them for their bravery in providing us with statements which led him to pleading guilty at an earlier hearing. Yeah, I mean, these were children. I mean, it's very traumatic for them, at the least, and to have to relive it and give evidence, you know, so well done to them for doing it. He says, I hope all those affected by his abhorrent criminal actions can take some comfort in the fact that he is now behind bars and that it gives them some closure. Not barred long enough. 6 years, he'll be out in 3. It won't change who he is or what he is. So there he'll be, 27 years of age, back out on the street, young enough to start his life, despite having damaged the lives permanently of those he used. It is not the sort of crime you need 6 years for. It's the sort of crime you need 66 years for. Or 18 inches. I prefer 18 inches for things like this. But hey, that's just me. He said it is extremely regrettable that Redwood had the privilege of serving as a PCSO with Surrey Police. I think it's regrettable that so many policemen keep getting caught for things like this and worse. I mean, this is it. I've done so many videos on policemen. I think that's regrettable. He says as soon as these concerns came to light, he was suspended from duty and a thorough and determined investigation was carried out. A subsequent misconduct hearing found he would have been dismissed had he not resigned. Surrey Police will always proactively seek to identify and remove individuals who fail to abide by the standards of professional behaviour or meet the rigorous expectations of the public. Can't believe a word of that. The severity of the custodial sentence given to him today, well, I didn't think it was very severe. 3 years, effectively. I mean, you know, they say 6. He's out in 3. 3 years for this isn't severe. Anyway, is welcome and reflects the gravity of his offending and marks the conclusion of a traumatic and complex investigation. Well, if you really want to put a closure on it, you've got to start giving these people serious time. 3 years is not anywhere like enough. And I know he's a cop, and I know he's going to go into prison, and I know he's going to have a really bad time. Good. And I hope it is a terrible time. I hope he has 3 years of waking up every night worried about his safety, worried in case anyone does anything to him. Just like those children. Anyway, I shall finish there and come up. Why am I doing so many videos about how awful the police are? Why are so many people who are policemen just terrible, terrible human beings? Is there something about the job that attracts them? Is it the power? Is it the fact that they've got a uniform, they think they can do just about anything they like? Because it certainly seems to be. And they do get away with a lot. I mean, you're only hearing, through my channel, you're only hearing the ones that have been caught. It makes you wonder how many people are out there wearing a uniform and not getting caught and doing terrible, terrible things all the time, every day. Never trust a policeman. I can't say that they're all corrupt, but God, there's so many of them that are. You can't tell which one is and which one isn't. So just be very, very careful around them and certainly never trust them. Anyway, enough of this. I shall finish here. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you've seen here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, definitely leave a like. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. Just be very careful of policemen, and goodbye.